Speak to Confidence MacHarry, a senior geopolitical analyst at SBM Intelligence. It's Nigeria's leading geopolitical research consultancy. Welcome to the program, Confidence. So status quo, no change. It's looking extremely delicate, and the military option seems to be diminishing as time goes on.
Yeah, I don't think so. In the first place, the ECOWAS standby force has said that they have chosen a date, but they won't give it out. And it's understood because, in the first place, the rationale for not giving out that date is because they want to give gather steam at the diplomatic initiative that has been led by former Nigerian head of state. But on the other hand, they are trying to get on the element of surprise. So in case they decide to invade, that's taking the military in Niger by surprise, as well as its allies in Mali and Burkina Faso. Yes, the chances for that, a quick victory by ECOWAS and its standby force in Niger seems to be fleeting, but that military option is still very well on the table.
What happens then, Confidence, if there is a military intervention and we've got Burkina Faso and Mali agreeing to come to the defense of Niger's junta?
Yeah, it's going to lead into a regional conflagration that would not produce any winners apart from the hundreds of armed groups that are residents in the region. As recent as 3 weeks ago, the Islamic State affiliates in the region elected a new leader, and with that, it's beginning to give a new lease of life to attacks by not only Al-Qaeda factions, but also by the Islamic State. As we've seen since the coup on July 26 in Niger, there have been no less than about 4 attacks on positions by the Nigerian military by armed groups in the Sahel. You expect that on the face value, it should be a quick victory between ECOWAS standby force, rather, against the trio of Niger military, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. But given the terrain, given how much this thing could lead into a larger crisis, I do think that it won't be as easy as it is being portrayed by the people who are mostly in favor of this intervention, especially because the refugee crisis that would be had from a potential military invasion, it's not just going to be for the countries involved. It's also going to be a problem across the Sahel that's going to lead into the Mediterranean and ultimately cause a problem for the European Union.
Yeah, absolutely. And with a series of coups across the region over the past 2.5, 3 years, you have liberal Western countries always promote democracy as the best form of governance. Do you think there's a feeling in those countries which have had coups over the past few years that actually democracy for them is just a word, that it doesn't quite work in the way it could do in other nations, and that actually military juntas may be an option to deliver a better life for those people?
Yeah, there is that temptation to believe so if you are a person or a young person, especially resident in a country that used to be under France. The key reason why there seems to be a rise in not only anti-democratic feeling but also anti-French feelings across the Sahel is that the region's elites who, for some reason, have been seen to ally with France and being puppets of the whatever government is in Paris, have not been able to, because of by omission or commission, not being seen to deliver whatever it is they were elected to deliver. You would see unemployment rates. You see a lot of security issues, especially in the northern axis of these countries, in Benin, in Cote d'Ivoire. There are a whole lot of them whose livestock, especially people that are living in those border areas, are affected heavily. So on one hand, it's not necessarily that democracy hasn't worked. It's that the democratically elected leaders of these other countries have not really delivered on their mandate. And as a result, whenever the military makes an incursion into politics and promise to arrest the situation, they are welcome with open hands. But what history has shown us is that this romance or this acceptance and this relationship between the military and the civilians and the people who try to welcome them do not really last. We've seen the same thing in Mali, we've seen it in Burkina Faso, and it won't be long. We might actually see within the next few months if the junta in Niger persists, we might actually see the same thing in Niger.
Confidence MacHarry, really appreciate the analysis. Thank you.